Hello, friends. I welcome you all to this session of weekly current affairs. And today we are going to see the weekly roundup from 23rd of August to 30th of August 2020. So, one thing which is in news was Nokahi Zuhar Festival. Well, Nokahi Juhar festival is celebrated in Chhattisgarh and Odisha, basically in western Odisha, and it is regarding the welcoming of the new crop of the season. And as because of COVID-19, it is being celebrated like all other festivals indoor. So one should remember that this Nokahi Juhar festival is celebrated in Orissa and Chhattisgarh, and basically it is for welcoming the new crop of the season. The second is regarding former President Shri Pranab Mukherjee, and he passed away on 31st of August 2020. He was 84-year-old and he was suffering from COVID-19. Now, a bit about Shri Pranab Mukherjee, that one of the most important facts regarding it is that in 2019 he was awarded with the highest civilian honor, the Bharat Ratna, and he was the 13th President of India between 2012 and 2017. Moreover, he has also served as Union Finance Minister between 2009 and 2012. Next is one important judgment in which the Supreme Court has held the activist lawyer Prashant Bhushan as guilty of criminal contempt case, and a punishment of rupee 1 has been awarded to him. And in case he failed to pay the fine, he was sentenced to a jail of 3 months and debarring from practicing law for a period of 3 years. Now, this was because the lawyer refused to apologize despite repeated opportunities. Now, one should remember that this Contempt of Court Act was enacted in 1971, and it is in relation to the making a willful disobedience of court. Now, this contempt of court can be of two types. It can be civil contempt, it can be criminal contempt. In civil contempt, there is a willful disobedience of the court, while in criminal contempt, it includes the act that scandalizes the court, interferes with the administration of justice, and prejudices the judicial proceeding. Now, scandalizing of court here means undermining the public confidence in the judiciary. Now, the constitutional provision regarding it are important. Article 129 of the Constitution of India confers upon the Supreme Court the power to punish contempt of itself, and Article 215, that 215, gives the power to High Court to punish the contempt of itself. In 1991, the Supreme Court ruled that it also has the power to punish for the contempt of the high courts. Now, another very strategic news is that India has opted out of CAVCAS 2020. Now, let us see what is CAVCAS. Well, CAVCAS is a military exercise that is going to be held in southern province of Russia. Now, in it, the member countries of Shanghai Cooperation Organization are going to participate. This is also known as War Games or COSCUS. COSCUS is or Caucasia is the region between Caspian Sea and Black Sea. Now, why is the sudden withdrawal of India from this participation in CAVCAS or the military exercises that is being held by Shanghai Cooperation Organization? Well, India has said that the reason basically is that it is not able to participate because of the COVID-19 reason. However, the experts believe that the major reason is that participation of Chinese, and ongoing Indo-China conflict. Now, a bit about Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Shanghai Cooperation Organization (SCO). It is a counterweight to NATO, that is North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and it is one of the largest trans-regional organizations that accounts to almost 44% of world population. Now, a bit about military exercises that is conducted between India and Russia, which are important. One is Indra, INDRA, Indra. It is it is naval exercise that is being conducted between India and Russia. Then Avi Indra, AVIAINDRA. Avi Indra is the Air Force exercise being conducted between India and Russia. Another news is that India is going to launch its Indian seaplane service from October 31st. Now, first of all, let us see that what is the significance of October 31st. Well, October 31st marks the anniversary of or birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India, and therefore the first seaplane which is to be inaugurated on October 31st will take off from Sabarmati River and to the Statue of Unity in Kevadia in Narmada district. As you know, Statue of Unity is that of the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Now, one very important fact is that it is to be operated by SpiceJet, and one similar aerodrome or say water aerodrome where the seaplane can take off and where they can land is being built in Chilka Lake. But there is a huge protest also, because what it is said is that you must be knowing that Chilka Lake is the Asia's largest saltwater lake, and it will affect the livelihood of almost 2 lakh fishermen. Next is a very important news again, which is strategically important for India, is that Sri Lanka is proposing India First policy. Now, what is this India First policy? Is that it is a strategic security policy of Sri Lanka, and it says that in major economic deals with other countries, which the Sri Lanka will be having, India will be the first when it comes to strategic security. So this will strengthen the bilateral relationship between India and the maritime country of Sri Lanka. Next is that National Sports Day. As we know that August 29, the National Sports Day was celebrated, and it is to commemorate the birth anniversary of legendary hockey player Dhyan Chand. And it is on this day that the various awards like Arjun Award, Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, Dronacharya Award, and Dhyan Chand Award are being given. And in last session, we have seen that Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award has been announced. Another important news is from Japan, where the longest serving Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, has resigned. Now, Shinzo Abe has served the Prime Minister of Japan from 2006 to 2007 and 2012 to 2020. Now, what is said is that he was suffering from a problem of ulcer, and therefore, because of health reasons, he has resigned. And one very important term which came up during his tenure was Abeonomics, that is Shinzo Abe plus economics, Abe economics, and it mainly consists of three main things. One is to achieving a target inflation of 2%. Another is that a flexible fiscal policy, and third is on growth strategy, that is having a steady growth strategy. Now, another news is from Assam, where Assam government has decided to set up a skill university at Mangaldoyi. So at Mangaldoyi, which is in Assam, the state government has decided to set up skill university. Now this skill university will be set up from the financial assistance from Asian Development Bank. It will be the first skill university in the country, and it will have a capacity to hold about 10,000 students at a time. 80% of the seats will be reserved from students of Assam in it. So Assam government is to set up the first skill university of the country with the help of or financial assistance from Asian Development Bank at Mangal Doi. Next news is regarding Arunachal Pradesh, that Arunachal Pradesh cabinet has decided or have passed a resolution, and this resolution says that Arunachal Pradesh should also be brought under Schedule 6 of the Indian Constitution. Now, what is this Schedule 6 of the Indian Constitution? Well, Schedule 6 of the Indian Constitution provides for administration of tribal areas in state of Assam, Tripura, Meghalaya, and Mizoram. The basic aim was to safeguard the rights of tribal population and to bring about a kind of self-governance in these areas according to their local rules and customs. Now, in the Constituent Assembly, a committee was formed. That committee was Bardoloi Committee, and this Bardoloi Committee had referred that there should be a Schedule 6, and in that Schedule 6, the state of Assam, Tripura, Meghalaya, and Mizoram should be put, and that should provide a kind of self administration for the tribal areas. Now, Arunachal Pradesh, which is also having a huge tribal population, wants it to be included in Schedule 6. Next is one important judgment which the Supreme Court has passed is regarding that states can make subcategories in the reserved categories. Now it was a constitutional bench, that is five-judge bench of Supreme Court, and it said that if there are listed scheduled castes and within that listed scheduled caste, state can make subcategories and provide preferential treatment to those that are deprived within. Similarly, for socially and educationally backward classes and scheduled tribes, state can now subclassify them and provide preferential treatment to those that are deprived within. Now, this judgment overrules the earlier judgment of 2004 of Supreme Court in Chinaya versus State of Andhra Pradesh. Now, a few articles which or constitutional provisions regarding it, which should be known, is that of Article 15.4, which provides, or Article 15 deals with right against discrimination, and it provides or allows the state to make a special arrangement for promotion of SEBC. Please remember it is socially and economically backward classes such as SC and ST. Now another is Article 16 Clause 4, which provides for the um, power to the state to make provisions for those who are inadequately represented in the government services. Then Article 341, Clause 1, which makes or empowers the President of India to declare a caste as scheduled caste in consultation with the governor of the state. Then again, Article 342 is important, where the President can declare a tribe as scheduled tribe in consultation with the governor of the state. Another important news is regarding person in news, which is M.L. Risneveld, that is Marquis Lucas Risneveld. Now he is the youngest author to win International Booker Prize. So this Dutch author, he has written a book or a novel, The Discomfort of Evening. So this Marquis Lucas Risneveld has written this his debut novel, The Discomfort of Evening, and for this he has won the prize of International Booker, which carries a cash prize of 64,000 US dollars. The International Booker Prize is an international literary award which is hosted by United Kingdom. Next, there are certain things which are in news. One is Pratiksha. Now, this Pratiksha is the first marine ambulance which has been launched by Kerala government. Now, it is said that around 30 fishermen lose their life every year in sea due to accident during fishing. Now, in order to save their life, the Kerala government has launched this marine ambulance, and they will provide first aid as well as rescue operations for these fishermen. And the funds are to come from Corporate Social Responsibility Fund and from Chief Minister Disaster Relief Fund. So Pratiksha is the first marine ambulance launched by Kerala government in order to rescue and provide first aid to the fishermen for the accidents during fishing at sea. Next is Armed Force Special Powers Act. Now this Armed Force Special Powers Act is in news because it has been extended for 6 more months in Assam. However, it is to be remembered that this Special Powers Act is of 1958, and the main aim was to give special power to armed forces to maintain public order in disturbed areas. So what it gives is that it gives some extra power to the armed forces to maintain public order in certain disturbed areas. Now, this the area can be declared as disturbed by the central government, and AFSPA can be implemented in those places. Now, one by one, it was enacted in 1958, and thereafter, one by one, it was brought in all the northeastern states. Later on, in 1983, it was brought in Punjab also, and in 1990, it was applied in Jammu and Kashmir also. However, from Punjab, it was withdrawn in 1997, and from Meghalaya, from March 2019, it was completely removed from Meghalaya also. And there was one Justice Jeevan Reddy committee, and this Jeevan Reddy committee has recommended for scrapping of Armed Force Special Powers Act. Now, one of the key provision is that in this according as per this act, any suspect can be arrested under the act without warrant. So arrest without warrant is one of the power. Next is that this act allows the armed forces to stop any vehicle and search it. It provides or empowers the armed forces to prohibit gathering of 5 or more persons at a particular place. So these are certain powers which have been given to the armed forces and the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. Next is that India's longest ropeway has been built on Brahmaputra River, and it is now open for public in Guwahati. So if the ropeway, which is the longest in India, is now on Brahmaputra River, and this ropeway provides a view of Neelachal Hills, where the famous Kamakhya temple is located. It will cut short the travel time by almost an hour, and this is of 2 kilometers long, and is covered in 7 minutes, and if you want to take a ride, you can take a ride on it, and its cost is only 60 rupees as such. It is also one of the step in the direction of tourism in Assam. So that's all for this week. Thank you, friends.